Process. Here will come a time in your journey when the road will narrow, when the winds will howl against you, and when the voices of doubt will seem louder than your own determination. Process. There will come a time when the mountains you must climb will seem steeper than your legs can carry you, when the nights will stretch longer than your patience can endure. Process. And when that time comes, and it will come, you must remember this: it is not the path that defines your destiny, but the power within you to persist. Every great dreamer, process, every builder of empires, every architect of fortune has stumbled into that dark place where the going gets hard. It is not a punishment, but a preparation. It is not a signal to retreat, process, but a trumpet blast calling you to charge forward. You are not facing hardship because you are weak. You are facing hardship because you are being forged for greatness. Process. Understand this truth now: adversity is not your enemy. It is your most faithful teacher. The struggle is not there to break you. Process. It is there to reveal to you what you are made of, to call forth the sleeping giant within you that you have yet to meet. Process. For no man or woman has ever risen to the summit without first wrestling with the storms of discouragement, the floods of fear, and the fires of failure. When the going gets hard, process. The small-minded will search for an escape, but the great-hearted will dig deeper, push harder, and plant their flag even higher. You must decide now which you will be. Process. You must decide whether you will be counted among those who gave up because it was hard, or among those who succeeded because it was hard. Do not pray for easier times. Process. Pray for stronger shoulders. Do not wish the obstacles away. Wish instead for the wisdom to climb over them. When life tests you, and it will, stand tall. Process. Look the test in the eye and say, you picked the right one. There is something about difficulty that sharpens the mind and toughens the soul. When you are pressed, process. You discover powers in yourself you did not know existed. You find that you can endure more, create more, become more than you ever thought possible. Process. The hardest moments often arrive just before the greatest breakthroughs. You must not quit at the doorstep of your own greatness. Most people stop digging 3 feet from gold. Process. They retreat just when they are closest to the vein that would change their lives. They turn back just before the victory was within reach. And why? Because the going got hard. Process. Because the night seemed too long. Because the pain clouded their vision. Do not let that be your story. Refuse to let temporary discomfort steal from you a lifetime of glory. Process. You were not born to be ordinary. You were not designed to live a life of quiet desperation. You were built to overcome, to rise, to ascend. Process. Every hardship you face now is simply a stepping stone placed beneath your feet to lift you higher. And every time you choose perseverance over pity, process. Every time you choose courage over convenience, you are one step closer to the life you were meant to live. When you feel like quitting, remember why you started. Process. Remember the dream that first set your heart on fire. Remember the promise you made to yourself when no one else was watching. Process. Remember the people who are counting on you to show them it can be done. Remember that you were given this mountain to show others it can be moved. Success is not for the faint of heart. Process. It is reserved for those who are willing to endure the scorching heat of the desert, the freezing winds of the summit, the loneliness of the long climb upward. Process. You will be tempted to compromise. You will be tempted to turn around. You will be tempted to make peace with mediocrity. But you must not yield. There is a reservoir of power within you. Process it deeper than you have yet imagined. And it is in these moments of difficulty that you must tap into it. You must silence the voice that says, I can't, and shout back. Process. Watch me. You must learn to smile at adversity, to welcome it as a companion on the road to your destiny. Every time you push through the hardship, you are writing your own legend. Process. Every tear, every scar, every sleepless night will one day be the proof that you refuse to give up, that you refuse to settle for anything less than the full measure of your dreams. Process. If you look back over the history of all who achieved anything worth mentioning, you will see a common thread. They kept going. When they lost everything, they kept going. Process. When they were laughed at, they kept going. When they faced betrayal, defeat, failure, they kept going. And because they kept going, process. They arrived at a place the faint-hearted will never see. You must harden your mind to difficulty. Process. You must train yourself to expect challenge and to welcome it as proof that you are on the right path. Obstacles are not barriers to success. They are evidence of it. Process. They are the guardrails that make sure only the truly committed pass through. When the going gets hard, do not lower your dreams to meet the difficulty. Process. Raise your standards to match your dreams. Tell yourself, process. I will not leave the arena until I have fought for all that is mine. Say it with the fire of a warrior and the resolve of a king. You were not given a dream by accident. Process. It was planted in your heart for a reason, and that reason is bigger than the discomfort you are feeling now. Process. The pain you experience today is the price you pay for the life you will celebrate tomorrow. The work you put in now, while the night is dark and the wind is cold, process, will become the foundation for a future so bright it will make you forget the struggle ever existed. It is easy to keep moving when the skies are clear and the winds are favorable. Process. It is easy to smile when fortune smiles on you. But the mark of a true champion is what he does when the world is against him, when the odds are long. Process. And when every cell of his body cries out for relief. That is when the real spirit is revealed. That is when greatness is born. The journey will not always be fair. Process. The road will not always be smooth. The applause may not come when you want it. But if you refuse to give up, if you refuse to surrender, if you press on through the storm, process, you will taste the victory that only the few ever know. So when the going gets hard, and it will, plant your feet, lift your chin, steel your heart, and keep moving forward. Process. Say to yourself, this is my proving ground. This is my test, and I will not leave here defeated. You are closer than you think. The breakthrough you seek is closer than you know. Process. Every step you take in the face of difficulty, every day you refuse to give up, is a chisel against the wall that stands between you and your dream. One day soon, process, you will look back on this moment with pride. You will say, it was hard, but I was harder. It was heavy, but I was stronger. It was long, but I was patient. Process. And because I stayed the course, because I kept the faith, I now stand where few have dared to stand. The future belongs to those who refuse to stop. Process. The prize belongs to those who outlast the pain. The crown belongs to those who kept going when everything in them screamed to turn back. The going may be hard now, but you are harder. Process. You are tougher. You are stronger, and you are destined to win. You must begin to see yourself as the one who cannot be broken. When the storms rise, you rise higher. Process. When the pressure mounts, you sharpen your focus. When the burden feels unbearable, you square your shoulders and press deeper into the challenge. Because you are not ordinary. Process. You are not common. You are part of that rare breed who understands that greatness demands payment in full and upfront. Every time you resist the urge to quit, process, you are strengthening an invisible muscle that will carry you to heights others only dream about. Every hour you put in now, while the results seem invisible, process, while the progress feels slow, is compounding inside you. It is building a momentum that will one day become unstoppable, but only if you stay the course. Process. Only if you refuse to measure your progress with the impatience of the world. Only if you decide that nothing, no obstacle, no delay, process, no betrayal, will be enough to make you turn around. The world will try to convince you that it is safer to lower your expectations, to take smaller risks. Process. To accept a little less from life. They will point to your struggles and say, see, it's too much, it's not worth it. But understand this, they are not speaking about you. Process. They are speaking about themselves. They are revealing the limits they have accepted, the ceilings they have installed above their own lives. You must not adopt their small thinking. Process. You must not accept their tiny dreams. You must hold on to your vision even when no one else sees it. For there is a strange and powerful thing about belief. Process. The one who holds it the longest wins. The one who refuses to let it die, even when evidence suggests otherwise, becomes unstoppable. Process. The people who succeed at the highest levels are not always the smartest, not always the most talented, but they are almost always the ones who could not be made to quit. Process. It is easy to believe when the evidence is clear. It is harder to believe when everything seems against you. But that is when belief matters most. That is when champions are made. Process. That is when destiny chooses her winners. Not when the sun shines, but when the storm clouds gather. Not when the path is easy, but when it seems impassable. Process. If you hold your vision steady through the storm, you will come to understand a law as real as gravity. Persistence bends the universe in your favor. Not overnight, not without scars. Process. But inevitably. Some days you will walk forward with fire in your heart. Some days you will crawl on bleeding knees. Some days you will move only an inch, but move you must. Process. Bleed if you must. But you must not stop. Momentum, even the smallest, becomes unstoppable if only you refuse to surrender it. The hard days are not a punishment. Process. They are the preparation. They are the universe whispering to you. Process. Prove that you are ready for what you have asked for. You cannot expect to hold the weight of a mighty future if you cannot carry the load of today's trials. Process. You must become the type of person who earns greatness, not one who stumbles upon it by accident. You must embrace the hard times. They are your sharpening stone. Process. They carve away weakness. They cut away doubt. They shape you into the weapon you were meant to be. They will teach you lessons that success alone could never teach. Process. They will give you a backbone stronger than steel, a heart fiercer than fire, a will more unbreakable than stone. When the going gets hard, rise with gratitude. Say to yourself, process. This is the moment that separates me from the rest. This is the price that greatness demands, and I will pay it gladly. Smile through the tears. Laugh through the exhaustion. Process. Celebrate the hard days, for they are the most precious days of all. They are the days when you become. And never forget every sacrifice you make, every hardship you endure. Process. Every obstacle you smash will one day become the stories you tell, the legends you leave behind, the proof that you lived fully and fought valiantly for the life you were destined to claim. Process. You must move with certainty even when certainty is not visible. You must speak words of faith even when doubt crowds your mind. You must act boldly even when fear clutches your throat. Process. You must become the living embodiment of persistence, unyielding, relentless, unstoppable. There will be moments when loneliness will sit beside you like an old friend. Process. Moments when even the ones who said they believed in you will begin to doubt. Let them. You do not need their permission to succeed. You do not need their approval to rise. Process. You are not fueled by the applause of others. You are fueled by the fire burning within you. There will be mornings when you question why you began. Process. Nights when you wonder if the fight is worth it. Hear me clearly now, the fight is always worth it. Not just for the trophies and the titles, but because of who you become in the fight. Process. Because of the pride you will feel standing on the other side, knowing you earned every inch of your success. You were not created to float through life. You were created to conquer. Process. You were created to overcome. You were created to chase down dreams so large they terrify you, and then make them yours through grit, vision, and unwavering persistence. Process. When the burden feels too heavy, remember this: the bigger the dream, the bigger the resistance. The higher the calling, the harder the preparation. The greater the reward. Process. The greater the test. Welcome it. Welcome the difficulty as a signpost that you are walking the right road. Every hour spent doubting is an hour lost forever. Process. Every minute spent complaining is a minute stolen from your destiny. You must become a master of your own mind, a commander of your own emotions. Process. You must become the architect of your focus, the guardian of your spirit. Speak only words that build you up. Think only thoughts that move you forward. Process. Surround yourself with reminders of your mission, your goals, your reasons why. Fortify your mind daily with vision, with gratitude. Process. With the burning belief that the life you desire is not only possible but inevitable if you keep going. The pain you are feeling now is not punishment. It is preparation. Process. It is shaping you into the kind of person who can hold the blessings you have asked for. It is clearing away the weaknesses that would cause you to fumble the opportunity. Process. It is refining you into pure steel. You are not alone in this fight, though it may sometimes feel like it. Process. Every great soul who ever achieved anything meaningful has walked this very path. They know the cold winds. They know the empty nights. Process. They know the heart-hatch of setbacks and the thrill of breakthroughs. And if they could speak to you now, they would not tell you it was easy. Process. They would not tell you they always felt strong. They would not say they never doubted. They would simply tell you this: it is worth it. Every scar, every tear. Process. Every sleepless night. It is all worth it. You are writing your story now in this moment with your choices, your persistence, your refusal to give in. Process. You are laying down the chapters that generations will read. Make them stories worth telling. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep becoming. You must refuse to accept the small life. Process. You must reject the notion that struggle means stop. Struggle means step forward. Struggle means lean in harder. When you feel resistance, you must not pause. Process. You must not question your worth. You must take that resistance as a signal to double your effort, to sharpen your discipline, to deepen your hunger. Process. The enemy of greatness is not failure. It is comfort. It is the slow decay of ambition under the soft blanket of ease. It is the quiet surrender that happens when you tell yourself, maybe this is good enough. Good enough is the enemy. Good enough is the silent killer of kings. You were not born for good enough. You were born for extraordinary. Process. The day you settle is the day you begin to die inside. Never settle. Never bow your head to difficulty. Lift your eyes higher. Lift your dreams higher. Process. Demand more of yourself than the world dares to expect. Your standards must be so high, so unshakable, that even when you fall short, you fall among greatness. Process. When you are tired, and you will be, you must remember why you began. You must see it in your mind's eye so clearly that no fatigue, no defeat, no delay can erase it. Process. You must remind yourself that your future is counting on you, that your destiny waits on the other side of this hardship. Process. You must tell yourself that quitting is not even an option, that your soul would rather burn in the fires of effort than rot in the mediocrity of surrender. Understand this. Process. Pain is temporary. Regret is permanent. One day the pain you feel now will be a distant memory, a badge of honor. But if you quit, if you bow to fear, process, that regret will echo through your spirit far longer than any hardship ever could. The mind will lie to you. It will tell you it's too hard. It will tell you it's too painful. Process. It will whisper that it's not worth it. Do not negotiate with weakness. Weakness speaks in the language of excuses. Strength speaks in the language of commitment. Process. Choose your language carefully. Choose to answer back, not today. I was built for more than this. I will not stop. If the dream was small, the obstacles would be small. Process. But because the dream is mighty, the resistance is mighty. And that is how it should be. Steel sharpens against steel. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Process. Champions are revealed when the fire is hottest. You must see yourself not as the victim of your circumstances, but as the master of them. Every setback is raw material for your victory. Process. Every defeat is a lesson hidden in the folds of pain. Extract it, learn from it. Rise because of it. The masses will look for someone to blame. You must look for the next step. Process. The world will tell you to take it easy. You must tell yourself to dig deeper. The noise of the crowd will shout for your attention. Process. You must become deaf to their distractions and laser focused on your path. There is something inside you that has not yet been fully called upon. A deeper strength, a fiercer resolve. Process. A welder spirit. It waits behind the walls of doubt. It waits behind the curtains of fear. And it will only reveal itself when you refuse to back down. Hard times are not curses. Process. They are invitations. Invitations to rise, to level up, to unlock a new dimension of your own power. Every hard day is an opportunity in disguise, and if you seize it, process, you will possess something no one can ever take from you, the certainty that you are unstoppable. You must move beyond motivation. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a decision. Process. Mood is fleeting. Discipline is eternal. When the excitement wears off, and it will, you must rely not on how you feel, but on who you have decided to become. Process. Build habits that carry you through when your emotions try to betray you. Build routines that lock your success into place like rails on a track, guiding you steadily toward your vision. Process. Even when your mind screams to turn back. Success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of will. It is the consequence of stubborn, patient, daily effort stacked relentlessly over time. Process. It is the harvest reaped by those who sowed seeds when there was no rain, who tilled the soil when there was no sun, who believed in the coming season even when the world laughed at them. Process. Every hardship now is earning you compound interest for the future. Every lonely night, every early morning. Process. Every late grind will pay you dividends beyond what you can now imagine, if only you keep the faith and continue. Those who quit will wonder forever what might have been. Process. Those who persist will stand atop the mountain and say, I earned this. I refuse to be denied. Your story is still being written. Your legend is still in the making. Process. Every decision you make now in the quiet, in the unseen hours is etching itself into the history of your life. Rise to meet the challenge. Stand toe to toe with adversity. Process. Become the kind of person hardship respects, that fear fears, that difficulty cannot defeat. When the going gets hard, don't just survive, thrive, dig deeper. Run harder. Work smarter. Process. Outlast every obstacle, outfight every fear, outwork every excuse. There is no power in the world that can deny a soul on fire with relentless purpose. You are the author of your story. Process. You are the captain of your fate. The pen is in your hand. The wheel is under your command. This is your time to decide that no matter what the world throws at you, no matter what the road demands of you, no matter what the cost is, you will not just endure. You will dominate. You will conquer. You will overcome. Every time you choose to persist, process, you cast a vote for the person you are becoming. Every act of courage, every moment of discipline, process, every second of resilience, each is a brick laid into the foundation of a future that cannot be shaken. It may not look like much now. The walls may still be low. Process, the scaffolding may still surround the dream, but keep building, brick by brick, day by day. Promise by promise kept to yourself. The world may not clap for you now. Let it be so. Process, the cheers are not required. The spotlight is not necessary. Your greatness does not need an audience to be real. In fact, it is in the solitude, in the silence. Process. In the lonely fields where the harvest has not yet come, that true greatness is born. There will be times when it feels like no progress is being made. Process, like you are pushing a mountain that refuses to budge. But know this growth is not always visible. Power is not always loud. Process. Just because you do not see immediate results does not mean the work is wasted. Beneath the surface, roots are spreading. Strength is being multiplied. Character is being carved. Process. The universe responds to those who refuse to fold, to those who, when pressed, push back harder, to those who, when knocked down, rise more determined, more focused. Process. More dangerous to their limitations than ever before, you must develop the habit of defiance, not against people, but against weakness. Defy the urge to retreat. Process. Defy the temptation to complain. Defy the easy way out. Stand tall when your body says quit. Speak life when your mind screams fear. Move forward when every emotion begs you to stop. Process. Your future is not handed to you. It is forged by sweat, by sacrifice, by the quiet, stubborn act of showing up one more time than anyone thought you could. And then once more after that. Process. Others will wonder how you did it. They will call you lucky. They will say you were born different. Let them. Smile and keep building. For you will know the truth. Process. You did what they would not. You endured what they feared. You climbed when they sat. You bled when they rested. You believed when they surrendered. And in that quiet knowledge, process, you will find a power deeper than anything the world can offer, the unshakable pride of a soul who stayed true, who refused to betray their own destiny. Nothing worth having comes easy. Process. Every dream carries a hidden price tag, and most never even dare to flip it over and see what it costs. But you must not be among the timid. Process. You must be willing to pay whatever price your future demands, trusting that no investment in your own greatness will ever be made in vain. Let the hard times find you ready. Process. Let the challenges find you willing. Let every difficulty become another weight that strengthens you, another blow that polishes you. Process. Another fire that tempers you into a warrior fit for your destiny. There is a reserve inside you that you have not yet touched. There are levels of courage, of strength, process, of persistence within you that have been sleeping. Hard times exist to awaken them. They exist to call forth the full measure of who you were born to be. Process. Every time you walk through the valley and refuse to lie down, you build momentum. Every time you face the storm and refuse to turn back. Process. You move closer to the life you were meant to live. Not a life of quiet resignation, but a life of blazing purpose. Success does not visit the half-hearted. Process. It does not stay with the faint of heart. It belongs to those who have decided, once and for all, that they will not be denied. That no cost is too high. That no setback is too final. Process. That no hardship is stronger than their will. You must be ruthless about your dreams, ruthless about your time, ruthless about your energy. Process. You must guard your mind from the infection of doubt, from the poison of negativity, from the slow, creeping disease of average thinking. Process. You must train your mind to find possibility where others see impossibility. You must train your eyes to see opportunity where others see only obstacles. Process. You must condition yourself to expect victory, not because it will be easy, but because you have decided that no alternative is acceptable. When others sleep, you work. When others doubt, you believe. When others stop, you continue. When others complain, you smile and say, I was made for this. You are not fragile. You are not weak. Process. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are the architect of your future, the sculptor of your fate, the commander of your destiny. Every action you take now, process, no matter how small, sends out ripples into your future, shaping the world you will soon inhabit. Make no mistake, the price will be high. Process. There will be days when you wonder if you can bear it. There will be nights when the burden feels like it will crush you. But remember, diamonds are made under pressure. Process. Legends are written in blood and sweat and fire. And you? You are in the process of becoming one of those legends. And so, when the morning comes and your body is weary, process. When your dreams feel heavy and your mind plays tricks on you, daring you to quit, you must summon a power that is not rooted in how you feel, but anchored in who you are becoming. Process. You must rise with purpose even when your heart aches with doubt, even when your spirit whispers of easier paths. Process. For it is in that sacred moment, the decision to continue when everything inside you cries for surrender, that greatness is earned. It is not the easy victories that shape the spirit. Process. It is the unseen battles, the silent wars fought when no one else is watching, when no rewards are immediate, and yet you move forward anyway. It is persistence without applause. Process. Work without recognition, faith without sight. It is the refusal to let today's pain overshadow tomorrow's promise. You must refuse to count yourself out. Process. Refuse to measure your power by the temporary setbacks you face. Refuse to lower your standards to match the hardships of the moment. Your standards must remain sky high. Process, even when the ground beneath you shakes, even when the storms rage and the path is obscured. Some will mock you. Some will doubt you. Some will try to chain you to their small thinking. Process, their shallow dreams, their limited beliefs. Smile and move forward. Let their doubts become your fuel. Let their disbelief harden your resolve. Let every sneer, every slight, process. Every laugh behind your back become a hammer blow that forges your will into an unstoppable force. When you are building something extraordinary, expect extraordinary resistance. Process. If the mountain were small, it would not be worth climbing. If the sea were shallow, the voyage would not demand the brave. Remember this process. The size of your challenge is proof of the size of your destiny. There is a roar inside of you waiting to be unleashed, a power that has been dormant. Process. A voice that has been silenced too long, you must awaken it. You must refuse to live as a whisper when you were born to be a battle cry. Process. You must refuse to shrink to fit the smallness of a world too timid to dream big. Every moment of doubt must be met with an even louder decree of faith. Process. Every hardship must be answered by an even greater act of will. Every delay must provoke an even fiercer impatience to succeed, to overcome, to conquer. Process. You must act as if success were inevitable. You must move with the certainty of one who knows that the ground beneath them may tremble, the skies above may darken. Process. But they themselves remain unmoved, unshaken, unbreakable. You must decide with every fiber of your being that there is no other outcome but victory. Process. That there is no alternative but to see this dream through to its rightful completion. Process. That you would rather collapse on the battlefield of effort than retreat into the safety of what could have been. Pain is not the end. Process. It is a signpost that you are nearing something great. Fatigue is not failure. It is a whisper from your future self saying, keep going. Process. You are closer than you think. The enemy you face is not the hardship. It is the voice within that says, this is too much. You must silence that voice. You must rise above it. Process. You must command your mind to serve your vision, not sabotage it. The truth is simple. You have survived every hard day so far. Every defeat, every heartbreak. Process. Every disappointment. You survived it. And here you are, still breathing, still fighting, still capable of more. Let that be your proof. Let that be your evidence that you are not done. Process. Not broken, not finished. You are still in the arena. And while you remain in the arena, you are still dangerous, still powerful. Process. Still a threat to the mediocrity that tries to pull you down. Let the world underestimate you. Let the doubts pile up. You know who you are. You know what you were made for. Process. This season of struggle is not the enemy. It is the refining fire that prepares you for the throne you are destined to sit upon. Process. It is the storm that clears the weak from the field and crowns the strong. It is the forge that tempers the sword. Process. There will be a day, if you persist, when the hardships you now face will seem laughably small. When the battles you now fight will feel like ancient legends, process distant and almost hard to believe. When the scars you carry will not be marks of defeat, but medals of honor. Every step you take now, process, though the ground may tremble and your muscles may scream, is moving you closer to a future so bright, so powerful, so undeniable. Process. That all the pain of the past will seem a small price to have paid. Refuse to let temporary difficulty create permanent defeat. Refuse to let today's fatigue create tomorrow's regret. Process. Refuse to live a life of wondering what might have been if only you had pushed a little harder, believed a little longer, dared a little bigger. The price of greatness is high. Process. But the price of regret is even highly. Choose courage over comfort. Choose faith over fear. Choose action over excuses. You are not meant for a life of quiet desperation. Process. You are meant for greatness carved from the bedrock of relentless determination. You are meant for a legacy built not by ease but by endurance. Process. You are meant for a destiny so profound that only those who dare the impossible can glimpse its edges. Keep moving forward. Keep your head up. Process. Keep your spirit lit like a fire no storm can extinguish. Keep your heart fierce and your dreams burning hotter than any fear that dares to rise. The storm was never sent to destroy you. Process. It was sent to reveal you. So now, as you stand at the edge of your next decision, as you face the weight of the moment pressing against your spirit, remember this process. You were not given a weak heart. You were not created for a small life. Deep within you is a force greater than any obstacle, a fire hotter than any fear, a destiny louder than any doubt. The road ahead will not get easier. You will get stronger. The nights may get longer, the battles fiercer, the tests harder. But so will your will, so will your vision. Process. So will your unstoppable spirit. You are being shaped moment by moment into a force the world cannot deny. You are not here to wonder what could have been. Process, you are here to make it happen. Stand up. Breathe deep. Clench your fists around your purpose. Look your challenges dead in the eye and advance. Process. Let the world watch in awe as you transform every hardship into a stepping stone. Let the whispers of doubt be drowned out by the thunder of your footsteps. Process. Let history record that when life demanded everything, you answered with more. This is your time. This is your proving ground. And you will not be found wanting. You will rise. Process. You will endure. You will conquer. Because when the going gets hard, the great ones get going. And you, my friend, are destined to be one of the greats.